Hello, hello, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello. If you can hear us, let me know, please.
Oh, you need to make sure you mute your own stream just in case it does start coming through and sounding awful. Like that.
Oh, I can hear it now. Yeah. Oh, so I need to mute it at this end. It sounded very quiet.
Oh, it's going through on my phone as well.
Yeah. Sounds like it's coming through then. It's quite a delay.
A little bit of a delay. It doesn't want to show me the volume thing on the phone. Hey phone, could you...
Oh God, voices! Voices in my head. Good, good. I'm glad there's voices. Right, it's going to be faces any second now. I'm counting down.
Hello, Res, Schultz and Linda.
Hey, Linda can hear us too. Oh, I was so worried nobody would show up. There's 3 people already. And John's promised he's going to watch in a minute because he's not going to get any dinner if he doesn't watch. Okay, we're going for faces now, I think. Hang on a minute. I've got to remember how to do it. Risky. I've forgotten how to do it. Wait a minute. Yay!
Hello.
I bothered to brush my hair today, look, for a change. Oh, was it quiet voices? Can we do anything about that, Tom?
Ooh, we probably do something about it.
Yeah. Linda, you don't know Tom. This is my younger son.
Hello.
I'm very handy in-house IT expert.
Ooh, let's turn that on. More gain. Ooh. Has that done anything to improve the voices? No. Bear with us. That might be better.
Yay! Jolene, hello. Can you hear us?
Okay, it might be too loud now. Let us know.
It looks like it's going into the red from here.
Yeah, I think that's too far into the red. Then you can just drag that slider down a bit and it'll be okay.
Is that better now, Shorts?
I'm going to be quieter because I'm back here.
A way to kind of properly
Definitely
practice.
Turn that down.
Turn it down?
Yeah.
Do we? Does it need to go down?
Yeah, the bar just went crazy and all filled in red.
Hello, expert. Yes, it's better. So we leave it like that, or do I need to turn it down before we get started?
I would turn it down slightly.
How do I do that?
The blue slider there.
Oh, this. Oh, yeah, that's really obvious. Okay.
That's
Hello?
probably okay.
This is my technical way of testing for sound. I like doing that in tunnels as well. That's better. It's not going into the red now. Hey, Mandy. Hola. She's not Spanish. So Jolene's in the States. Mandy I know is in the UK. Shorts. Sweden. I always get the wrong way around. Yes. Sweden.
Well, that's definitely still peaking.
Baz is in the UK. Hey, Georgia.
Baz is in the UK, but he's actually Belgian.
Yeah, he's actually Belgian, but he is in the UK. You can turn it down slightly even more now. Yeah, okay.
It says starting soon. Hopefully it doesn't still say starting soon.
Oh. She did see us and now it says starting soon. Uh-oh. I hope we're not going to get too many techie issues.
No, it looks okay there. Loving the beard? Well, I think.
Oh, Tom, not me.
Yeah, your beard's fine as well. That is definitely clipping.
Susie, hello.
Bear with us a second, guys. Just trying to...
Oh, yeah, Susie's only seeing starting soon as well.
Okay. Turn on various different audio things. It should now have a compressor and a limiter and noise reduction, fancy stuff.
Hey, Thornius, hello. Oh, how lovely. So many people turning up. It's a shame you can't see us.
Yeah.
How's feeling?
They can hear us, but not
see us. YouTube notification failed as expected. But yeah, you're here.
Yeah.
Well done. And Karen, hello. Oh, I'm so pleased. Look, there's me thinking nobody will show up. There's lots of people. Lovely.
If people are still not able to see us, you might need to refresh the page because it is streaming the right thing. YouTube might not be showing it to everyone.
Yeah, is it just worth... Just click on the refresh button on your YouTube. Yeah, because Shorts, Linda, and I think Raz can see us all right. Mandy can see us. Karen, have I said hi to... Hello, Karen. Christine. Yay. Oh, well, you are all lovely. I better stop chatting and actually do something in a minute then.
I'm still trying to start into... Yeah.
So who is going to be... yes, maybe refresh, Mandy's saying. I think it's a good idea. Yeah. Who is going to actually be maybe colouring along with one of the sheets or having a go at the watercolour with me?
I've got mine. Well, that just shows us a
Tom's
blank white rectangle here. But...
Tom's going to do, I think, this one first. So you've got Inktense pencils, haven't you?
Yes. I'm mostly joining in so that if there's anyone worrying that they're not good enough to join in, they can see that they're not the only one.
Give me your sketch pad a minute. I'm going to show you a drawing.
No, you're not.
Him who says he can't draw just showed me a picture. What's he called, that guy? George Dawes. I call him George Dawes. I've got
Matt
his real name
Lucas.
is Matt Lucas. You just did a little sketch off. Really good.
No.
He won't show it.
No, he won't.
George is saying hello to you as well. George is my niece. Mandy's my sister. So obviously Georgia and Tom are cousins.
Yes.
And Shorts and Raz and Thornius.
They're your extended
and
children.
Phelan. They're all my extended children. They're all Twitch friends. Who do I know? Shorts? Raz? Yeah. Yeah, I think I said everybody. Oh, it's lovely of you all to come along. Half an hour ago, I was sitting there saying, oh, I wish I hadn't said I'd do this. I'm terrified. Oh, you're doing some grown-up stuff there, Raz. It's good to know you're there.
Hubby's here.
Oh, yeah. I see you, John Claxton. Hey, hello, hubby. I've given hubby some colouring in as well, but whether or not he'll feel like doing it. And he's got one of my giant cases of colouring pencils to have a go at. So it sounds good. Can you all see us now?
Go on, back.
Short said setting the standards at the proper level as always. Is that you?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. I do wish you were my children, Raz.
Yeah, better than your actual children.
Yeah. It does feel like they're all my children in a way. Or at least my nieces and nephews.
And you're old enough, it's fine.
Well, I'm old enough to be their granny, so aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're busy digging holes and shooting bugs, Thornius.
Interesting, Thornius.
You would be
hope
great
you mean it
children.
Yeah. I'm going to take that as a personal insult.
Yeah. He's easily offended.
Yeah. So you see people calling me TTK or Tom. It's the same person.
Yeah. TTK on Twitch, aren't you?
Yeah.
And these are I don't know if anybody else watching that I don't know on Twitch is on Twitch, but they're all lovely people and worth checking out. They're a lovely little community.
Yeah.
Lovely people. Some of them pretend to be horrible, but they're lovely, really.
They're very tolerant.
And before we even start, because I don't want to forget this later on, but like the main reason for doing this was to celebrate passing 500 subscribers, and I think it's 540 something now, and I just want to say thank you, because like I think, like I said before, I never make a big deal. I don't ask for people to subscribe, but it doesn't mean I'm not thrilled to bits. I'm just really grateful, and I wanted to say thank you and celebrate. Speaking of which,
Short says you underestimate how old we are. Shorts, we're about the same age.
Yeah,
and I'm her children.
You could definitely be my child. Shorts.
You underestimate how old she is.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, Tom TK. And on Twitch I'm TTK Mum, so right, I'm going to start actually doing something. I think.
So it's
I
not
think
a bad
enough about
idea.
faces. Should we go to? So
Yeah.
did anybody say that they would be joining in? If you do join in and do something, or you use the colouring sheets later and do something, or you get inspired to have a go later on, or whatever. If you take a photo and email me, I'd really like to put a little gallery up. Perhaps on the next video I do or something.
Yes. What Short said there is very important.
What's that?
It's possible to be delayed because YouTube, you can rewind live streams. There should be a button that makes you catch up to the currently live thing.
Oh, there's a button at the bottom left to catch up to live if you wish. Oh, thanks, Shorts. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that feeling, Svilin, when things don't go like you want them to. It puts you off for a little while. Yeah. And sometimes you just need to have enough time and be in the right frame of mind, don't you? I've had a couple of disasters myself this week, so one of them I shared with the world, the other one not so much. One disaster a week. So what is Thornius doing? Playing Deep Rock Galactic, a game with Space Dwarf miners.
It's a good game. For anyone not aware, the video description is where you can find links to the colouring things if you want to print them off and join us.
Oh, Susie, that's a shame. It's not working for Susie. We're just stuck and then paused and not playing. So she's going to keep trying, but in case she can't fix it, have a really good time, everyone. Oh, what a shame. Susie's been one of my cheerleaders right from when I first started. Well, not first started this channel, but first started doing anything with it last year. Is that the devil's? It is the devil's water I have there.
No, it's just water for dipping brushes in.
But this is a party, so...
Yes, we're celebrating.
I even bothered to brush my hair and put a bit of slap on today, which I don't normally for my YouTube videos.
So did I.
As you well know. Right, let's get started.
Brushing my hair is very quick.
Because I promised myself I'd do 3 paintings and time is running out.
Yes.
You were behind. You were behind.
I thought she might have talking about not turning it down anymore.
Oh, yeah. So has everybody clicked on the live button on the left? Susie, maybe it's worth you doing that as well, is it? Don't know.
I mean, she won't be able to hear you saying that if it's not working for her.
I could put it in the... Oh, no. Oh, that's a shame.
Hopefully I'll just catch up.
Yeah. She won't get fed up trying because...
Yeah. Or just YouTube doing
right,
YouTube things.
I'm gonna put you onto the other camera. If you're gonna be joining in with me, that's not intro. Hands. More hairspray. Short said you have a loose hair on the top there.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, it's so unruly.
I mean, I have one hair.
So unruly. I've got a glue stick somewhere. We can stick it down with that. Georgie says looking beautiful, and me too, apparently. Or maybe try a different browser. Good suggestion, Maz. Might be
possibly.
Yeah. Anyway, right. I'm gonna stop waffling on because I know what I'm like. I'll just waffle forever.
Yes.
Right. So this is the watercolor negative painting thing. It's just my first proper go at it, so it's not difficult, but it's quite fun to do and quite impressive results, I think, isn't it?
So is that negative as in it needs to be displayed in negative to be the right colours?
No, it's not that fancy. No, it's just that you paint only the negative spaces with each subsequent layer. So I'm going to get started on that in a minute. And then I've got my two. So the colouring, for anybody who's downloaded the colouring sheets. It reminds me of Where's Waldo or wherever it is.
Yes.
You can download, if you haven't and you want to later on, there should be links below this live stream thing. Oh look, I've got something on there. So, and you should be able to print it out like that. Bear in mind, if you're going to use anything watery on it though, you'd need to do it on a laser printer.
Yes.
And that's the bear. So the bears I drew from these bears, these little felt bears that I made. And this was after I'd done a thing for a school. That's another go at negative painting, but with pens. Where's my bears gone? Not bears, faces. So that was just like a quick, we had markers for Scholar Box one time. And the challenge was create calm, I think. So the idea was I was making a colouring page, which makes me calm. That was mine.
Although a crowd like that would make you anything.
Would make me very not calm, very not calm. So this time what I'm thinking I'm going to do is all different colour masks, and I might go in with little fine liners afterwards and put little patterns on them and things.
Nice.
And also I've left the faces blank on purpose, except for some of them have got glasses, because I thought it'd be more fun to put your own features in, you know.
You do of course need to do a red and white striped mask now. You've said it's like a Where's Wally thing.
I will have to put one red and white. Yeah. And I want to do, I'm going to, for this one, I'll be the last one I start. I'm going to use, Mandy and Georgie, if you're still there, these pencils came out of Mum's little studio. They're watercolour pencils and they were all supposed to be different skin tones. So I thought I'm going to give them a go. And some other watercolour pencils for the mask and that. So it's all different kinds of watercolour. I'm going to do wet in wet. That'll be the second one. This is the one I've got to start first. Do you know what? The one thing I haven't got ready is a blooming idiot. It's a piece of watercolour paper to actually paint this on. Oh God, what a fool! Right, okay, let's go for this one. Right.
You've got some A5 watercolour paper?
I don't want A5, I want it to be big. That's probably too big. Oh, I'm a fool. I should have had that ready. Thought I'd got everything. Let's go for a bit smaller.
I've got all my stuff.
Just shut up. Bear with.
I'm helping. We will show you Thornius's art later.
Oh,
You've got too much paper.
I have got so much paper there to do.
You should tell the lucky viewers how many markers you counted.
Oh, do you know, I thought I had like a couple of thousand markers. It just seemed like way too many. Out of curiosity, I had a quick count up this morning, and it's nowhere near as many as I thought I had. I've only got like 750.
This is some new form of the word only that others aren't used to.
Oh, I did have it ready, look. It was there all along, staring me in the face.
Yes, you hid it in plain sight.
Has everybody still been able to hear all right and everything? Yeah. Nobody's saying otherwise anyway.
Yes, do let us know if there are any problems, guys, because we haven't streamed on YouTube before.
Yeah, it's a bit different. When we're streaming, it's on Twitch, isn't it? So it's a bit different. I bet I'll do this crooked because I can't put my head over it like I usually would. Right.
It doesn't want to be hugely straight.
So this is just like really low tack tape.
You could do it digitally if you like, Thornius.
Definitely do it. Yeah, for sure.
Use grease pencil and blender.
So would there be a way you can like use the image that I provided and colour that digitally? Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see what you could do with it digitally. I'd love to see what you could do with it in whatever medium. You know, there's all sorts of things you could try.
Yeah, just put it into pretty much any image editing software as a multiply layer, then you can colour without it going over the lines.
Yeah.
That'd be easy.
Right.
Yeah.
Do a black and white version, Thornius. That'd be different.
It's already a black and white version.
Right, so first thing I'm going to do with this, I've got 2 jars of water. So I will try, I always get slapdash in the end, but I will try to keep one for my clean water just to wash the brush off with, and one for my just to wash the brush off, and one for my clean water to go in the paint. I'm using a real cheap set of watercolour paints, nothing fancy. These ones were £6.50. I got them in the Royal Academy gift shop actually. Oh, it's raining again. Oh, good. But I mean, so they're not the best watercolours, but they're pretty good. The colours are pretty vibrant, and I love that they're all. It's like a tower. They're all stacked up.
Very compact. Form factor.
It's quite a nice way, and the lid makes the palette.
Very nice.
It's quite a nice little set, really. You can see I'm really dirty with my paints.
Yeah.
First thing I'm going to do is just.
I've got nice pristine pencils because they've never been used.
I'm just going to put a wash of water over the whole thing. Nothing needs to be precise with this. If you end up leaving bits of plain white paper, that just kind of adds to it later on. It's one of it's really, really forgiving technique. This will be good.
Really?
I used. This is a bit off an old pattern paper pad, just a bit of thin card, like cereal box card or whatever. And I just cut out some leaf shapes like this because I thought it's just going to make things easier for me later on.
Good morning, North Texas.
Hey, Dana. Hello. It's morning. What time is it there? You're just having your breakfast. Yeah, I've got the drinking glass far away from the jam jars because yes, that has happened.
Yes, the drinking glass is going to taste a bit different to the water.
I've done that both ways round. I've dipped the brush in my drink and I have drunk from the, especially when I used to use mugs for my paper.
Oh, that's asking for trouble. Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to... It's going to be my mixing thing. And I'm just going to use, like I did, I didn't bother to try and make it realistic leaf colours. I just picked whichever colours I fancied at the time.
Yes, it's art. It doesn't need to be realistic, does it?
I'm going to give these a good spritz to get them going. I should point out that I am not an expert. I think my whole thing is I like to try everything. I want to try all the crafts and all the arts, and I'm not particularly good at anything.
John started colouring the teddies.
Has he? Well done. Yep, brushes in a drinking glass.
8 a.m. there. That's dedication showing up here at 8 a.m.
I know, I know. I think Dolores might pop in. I don't know which part of America she's in, but I think she said it would be about 7 o'clock in the morning for her. Well, I'm going to have a couple of different shades of green, but I'm not going to stick with greens and stuff. Just because it's leaves doesn't mean they've got to be green in my book.
Leaves can be a whole range of colours, can't they?
Yeah, definitely. You could make it all autumnal. There could be rainbow colours. I mean, mind that one's a bit rainbowy, isn't it?
A little bit, yes.
But it does seem, I think these paints are a little bit harder work to get going than some of my like more expensive watercolours that I've got.
Yeah.
Maybe they're a little bit.
I suppose the quality can be both in sort of the saturation of the pigment and the type of binder they use.
Yeah, yeah. I think the pigment is like the most noticeable thing, but yeah, once you've got going, once you've been using them for a bit, they seem
if the binder isn't great, you can work around that, but if the pigment's terrible,
there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, it's really frustrating.
So it's like I ever do anything with it.
And the reason I'm not doing it straight from the watercolour pans is that I really need this first layer to be very, very light. So now, see, I've already messed up with the water. I know what I'll do. I'll use this for the...
You've got an assistant if you need water replaced at some point.
Yes, I might take you up on that. So I've really, really, really watered that down. I might just have one more different shade of red. Let's go for a different shade.
I'm going for the much simpler approach of using a water brush.
Yeah.
Less flexible, perhaps.
I find it less yeah, controllable. I think that's my thing. Right, so now I'm just going to put this very thin wash of colour in. That is way too pigmented on there. Let's get that.
Well, that's the nice thing about moistening the paper first, is that you have that extra time.
Yeah. Of course, it does also mean it's going to take longer to dry in a minute, which can be a bit frustrating.
And depending on your paper, I suppose it's more likely to start buckling.
Yeah, it is already buckling a bit, but as it's taped down, it will flatten out. Because watercolour paints always dry lighter, much lighter usually.
Yes.
Let's have some yellow over here.
So step 2 is to give your brushes a good throw.
Yeah, and then headbutt the ring light. That always works well for me.
Yeah, it's important for the artistic process.
Oh, Susie ain't come back, has she? That's a shame.
Hopefully it'll start working at some point.
Yeah, no, she was looking forward to it. It's a shame. Why? She's in this country as well, so it's not like not that make any difference to the internet, would it? Right.
Well, it depends sometimes.
But she's in this country.
It's nice to think that YouTube is quite good at streaming video internationally, given that that's what they do.
Right. I feel like that's already a little bit too... I know it looks really faint, but you just don't want it too bright at this stage. And you can do things like dropping salt into it at this stage as well, so it has that lovely sort of granular texture as it dries, which is really nice. I've done splats at the end here as well. But you can see like some of them, like these, look like the paper was almost white when I started, and it wasn't. It started like this. So. Right, that's all I need to do with that one at this stage.
Yes.
Just get that background on. So I'm going to put that down there to dry. Start on the next one. Get me 3 paintings at one time. Oh, thanks, Georgie. It's 8 a.m. here. Coffee to drink for that. Yeah. Oh, raining in Yorkshire.
Yeah. It's a bit miserable here.
It's raining here, and yesterday it's blown a gale all day. I was working in the shop yesterday, and we got these big slidey doors that open right by I was on the till, open right by the till. I swept up that floor about 6 times, and it was like a blooming forest floor in there. Yeah, it just kept blowing in.
Very windy overnight.
Nothing you can do sometimes. Yeah. Right. Okay. So I'm going to start the teddies next.
Yeah, I should get
so I've got
on
two. Yeah, you should get started. I've got 2 pieces of board here, which are just like off the back of old sketchbooks, just to give me enough to support them while I'm working on them. So I'm going to take this down again. It's quite heavy, this paper, because it is going to get quite wet.
Like the second time I ever used these paints. I don't really know what I'm doing.
I think with the Inktense pencils, I'm like, watercolour pencils I'm going to use are quite sort of subtle. Inktense are intense. They really are, yes. Aren't they? And they don't look, you scribble them down, and I could just show that a minute. Like as if I've got time to do anything else. This is what I did. So let's pick any old Inktense pencil. So that's like, for want of argument. So there we are. That's Deep Rose Inktense. So you scribble it out like this. And it didn't look much. I could press much harder and, But when you touch it with water, beautiful. Look at those colours.
Yeah, they're basically a solid India ink.
Yeah, they're not, whereas watercolour pencils are a solid watercolour paint, really, so they're more subtle. Yeah. Right, let's take this down.
The good thing about these is...
And it's raining in Cornwall as well.
Yeah.
And northern Germany. Oh, you've got coffee and cookies. You're all right, Stephen. We got spag bowl with real meat later. We haven't been eating a lot of meat recently, but we've actually got real beef mince to use. I bet John's delighted. Aren't you, my precious? How's he getting on? He hasn't said anything since he started the teddies. He's probably concentrating on the teddies now. Right, so I think I need clean water.
Would you like me to go and...
No, not if you've just started. You keep doing that. Excuse me, I'm just getting clean water. I don't want to put him off his teddies.
I'm very easily distracted.
If I had any sense, I'd have put a big bucket of water by my side or something. Or one for emptying and one for clean. Right.
Well, if you decide you do need water brushes, A, you've already got your own, and B, I've got several here.
You have got water brushes there. Right, so the teddies, I'm going to try doing a bit of wet in wet. I'm not an expert with this, far, far, far from it. So, like, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm sure everybody does.
Oh, sure.
Wherever you paint the water, the paint, wherever you put the water, the paint will naturally want to flow.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to keep sort of inside the lines of my teddies, and I just transferred these with the old-fashioned tracing paper. And it's funny, somebody bought tracing paper at work the other day, about the same age as me, and Mandy might remember, even if nobody else on here at the moment is old enough, but can you remember having to use Izal toilet paper for tracing? I can still see like a map of England with Izal and please wash your hands at the bottom.
That must have been lovely toilet paper. You could use it as tracing.
Oh, it was awful. And then the guy, it was a couple where I was talking about it to, and the guy said, "Oh yeah, we used to call it, what did they call it? Skid paper or something."
Oh no.
Oh, John's looking forward to the spag bog. Spag bowl, not spag bog.
Spaghetti bog.
So the surface I'm using now, Mandy, is just watercolour paper. No, actually, I think I didn't go with watercolour. I think I went with multimedia paper. So it's just a fairly heavyweight, like 250 GSM probably. It needs to be something that will take the wet, really. So watercolour paper or multimedia paper is quite good. Or a heavyweight cartridge paper. That's what you're using with your pencils and the water, isn't it? Is that working okay?
Yeah, it seems fine.
Right, I'm going to try.
But
Yeah, you just got to be a little bit sort of delicate with it, haven't you? Yeah.
I don't know if it would work well with the wet on wet thing, but just using water brushes on dry intense pencils works fine.
Right, I'm going to try just dropping this into there and see what happens. Not a lot. This might be where the fact that they're not such great watercolour paints now will become more obvious.
Yes.
Because they're not sort of behaving quite how I'm expecting them to.
Oh yes, those were some excellent toilets, Georgia.
What toilets?
Hendra Park toilets.
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
I don't think those even exist anymore, do they?
Don't know. Right. And this looks pretty awful at the moment, but that will dry lighter than it is, and then I'll go back in. Oh, listen to that rain. I'll go back in with another layer and add more depth where I want the darker parts to be. I need to get a quick I need to get my skates on.
Yes, you're running out of time.
Loo roll paper would take the water quite well. Yeah, you might not get to defined edges on your drawing though.
Yeah.
But that Izal would. That'd probably be, you know what you could use that Izal for now? It would work, you know, like that, Mandy might remember we did that jelly printing with deli paper. That Izal paper is a bit like deli paper.
Mm.
Probably be a much cheaper way to get hold of it.
Do they even make it anymore though?
Don't know. I'm totally making this up as I go along. It's may be a complete disaster. But we don't care, we're just playing. It's fine.
We're celebrating 500.
We're celebrating 500, and it's now, what was it this morning?
547 or something, was it?
I don't know, I can't remember now.
It's too many.
I probably will go back and do like a sketchy fine liner pen around it. I'm finding it hard to talk and do.
Yes.
This is very different from when I record videos for YouTube, and I do chat away while I'm doing it, even though sometimes I know I'm going to edit this bit out anyway. I just tend to just chat.
Yes. Yes, there's a lot more footage than you guys see in the thing.
Oh, that looks really blimmin' awful at the minute, but that's okay. It will be fine.
It's a process. Oh yes, I can see that on the phone.
I know. But the other thing with watercolour is like, don't fiddle with it too much. Walk away, let it dry, come back and do another layer.
Much as it dries, doesn't it? That's what I don't like about watercolours. I don't like how unpredictable.
They are very unpredictable. You just have to go with the flow. What I'm finding that this isn't doing, that normally when you do wet in wet with watercolour, it will just flow into where the water is. It's just not happening, and I don't know if that's to do with the fact that I've got really cheap watercolour paints, or I'm doing something else wrong. It could be different paper. I'm not actually using watercolour paper. So yeah, that's all right. I'm just gonna see how it goes.
Yeah, watercolours seem to be really touchy about all kinds of different factors.
Yeah.
I imagine the hardness of the water probably makes a difference.
Yeah, maybe. And we've got very hard water here. You also find that see, now I've just used my clean water for my.
This is a disaster.
Yeah. I was just going to say something. Then you also find, no, completely forgot what I was going to say.
Apparently, you're doing fine.
Am I? Are you? Yeah. The park is still there and the toilets were slightly updated. Oh. I think I used to be fine with you two going in there because you were boys, but you've got girls. Manky toilets. It's even worse because you've got to actually sit on those toilets. Let's not have this topic of conversation on my first live stream.
Let's not. Very different to your Twitch streams.
The other thing that I will do if I'm not happy with how this dries and everything is there's no reason why I can't decide it's going to be a mixed media painting.
Yeah.
I can go in with other kinds of paints or acrylic inks or.
You have a lot of options.
What I quite like doing is starting off with a painty base like this, just as my base layer, and then go in with colour pencils to add more sort of depth and
maybe a gel pen for highlights and
and I will enjoy going in with a fine liner afterwards and putting all the little seam lines. See, already I think you're beginning to get like interesting little like blobby lines in there, so I like all that.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Short says you should probably melt the ice before using it as water. He's right.
What am I missing? I'm not understanding. I'm going to try it without. Explain to me what I'm missing.
Nothing. It's all fine.
I can't paint next to that one because it will blur. This will want to blurb into there, won't it? So I'm going to have to leave that. I'll do this one.
So that's what I like about ink tints over watercolours, is that once it dries, it doesn't reactivate with water.
Yeah, yes, that's true, because it's an ink, basically.
That can be a disadvantage as well, sure.
Yeah. With watercolour pencils,
you know, all kinds of layering without having to worry about what's going to mix with what.
And what you didn't have before that I've just given you one of my multiple versions of is a white Inktense pencil. So it'd be interesting to see what you could do with that.
Yes, I've seen people have a lot of luck with it.
I'll have to have an experiment. Seeing as I've just discovered I've got 4 of them.
It's a bit disappointing that the 12 colour set doesn't come with a white.
Yeah.
I suppose other colours are probably
several shades of blue or red, but no white. What colour shall I go for next? Somebody choose. Oh, hard water. Oh, God.
Being very, very amusing.
I'm just being really thick. Yeah, sorry, Shorts. I was just being a bit slow there. Or a bit preoccupied.
Yes, you were busy entertaining.
I was busy arting.
You're an artist at work.
Oh, there may be some people who have not yet seen this. Oh, sorry for the wobbles. Oh, it's all gone out of focus now. This is what Tom made me on his 3D printer. Look. That's just to play on the word arty farty Annie. It's nothing to do with the fact that I actually ever fart at all, because I don't.
Ladies don't. Yeah, she's been trying to blame it on the chair, but she's got some silicone.
Green. I've already done green.
Do more green.
These are green. You want more green?
Can't believe you need more water already.
No. I'm just going to do this. This has gone really mucky now, this yellow. I can't get more to... Oh, I'm wondering if maybe I should have broken out the more expensive watercolour paints. I just thought it'd be quite nice to just not use expensive stuff. Okay, I'm going to go over here and do this in this yellow in a minute. It doesn't make a lot of difference whether I go wet in wet or just wet on dry, which I'm just going to go wet on dry because it'll be quicker. Because I do want to get all 3 of these, at least the base of them, done. Oh, that's the wrong... I've painted his here yellow. He's not yellow. Too late. He is now. He's going to have to be orange or something that will go with the... Or he could be green. I might have to let the other one dry. Orange. Yes, I think orange is a good idea because I've got no orange in there. Then I've got green, pink, yellow. Let's have some orange. I might just paint straight on with this one. Oh, that's scary. Oh, seem to have missed a bit of the tracing of that one. I'm going to have to make that up a bit as I go along. He's got no leg.
How does he smell?
I'm just being inclusive. That'll be all right. Right. So I think this is at the point where I have to put it to one side, because if I paint any that are too much next to each other, I can't even see where the lines go on that one. I did leave them very... Ah, see, look, I've just proved my own advice correct. Because it's next to a wet bit, they want to bleed into each other. I've just done exactly what I told myself not to do. That's okay, we'll sort that out later on. Right, I'm going to put Teddy to one side for a minute. Whoops, I wonder if that one's drying yet. I think it'd be dry enough to do the first layer by the time I'm ready. Quick slurp. I'm like, what was that chef called? Keith Floyd. Oh, purple. Yes, I haven't got purple, have I? I'll do purple when I come to do the next ones. I'll definitely include purple. Right. Do you know what? I just read that as I think these pants are working just fine. I thought Mandy had a problem. No, I think his paints are working just fine. Yeah. The colours are getting better as they dry. I think when I put the orange on straight there, it was a bit much. In fact, I'm now looking at it again and thinking I'm just going to dab some of that up before it dries on. Hang on a second. Yeah, because it was just a bit too much compared to the others. That's better. It'll be a rainbow of bears. That'll be cute.
Yeah.
And as they always say, and I say it probably more often than others, all paintings go through an ugly phase. Some more than one ugly phase. I'm going through one big long ugly phase. Right, so now here's my masky people. So the plan with this one is to use the skin tone pencils, and I want them to be all different skin tones. And then I'll use the other watercolour pencils to do the masks, and then when it's dry I can go back in with a fine liner, and they can all have different little faces, and I might even have little paint pens and do patterns on the masks and things. I think that'd be fun. Unfortunately, masks are still very topical here. Are you all still wearing masks in places that aren't the UK? You guys that are in Germany and Sweden and America, and where else? Westonia's Finland.
Yes.
Or is it just us? Mind you, I'm finding that I'm having to wear it all day at work, but a lot of customers do come in without, so not everybody is, but right, okay.
Yeah, I'm always happy to wear a mask in public.
Yeah.
Why not?
I think I'm just gonna randomly add colour to these faces, and then they'll need another layer to add more kind of definition. I think I had a little bit of I'll do a bit of a practice on here somewhere. Maybe I didn't. Oh, I did. Yeah, so I can just get this kind of, so that was using two different shades of these. This is all the colours that I got from this little set of watercolour pencils. This was two different shades, and then water, and then I went round the edges again just to deepen the edge, and then I just pen in some little features. So everybody's would turn out different, which is quite nice, isn't it? Yeah. Of course, I had to have some with glasses. This is where I'll just get all engrossed now. I'll be colouring in, I'll be completely silent. Everybody will think the sound's gone off.
Yeah.
Sonia says with a face like mine, I don't mind a mask. I've had more kind of things like, you know, taxi drivers saying that they think I'm younger than I am and stuff since I've had the mask on all the time. Yeah, when you can only see this much, and that bit's got glasses anyway, you know.
Sometimes it's nice just to be ugly in peace.
Also, you can make all kinds of faces at people when they can't see, you know. If somebody's annoying you at work or on the bus or whatever. Right, I'm just going to really quickly scribble these in, I think. They do say that if you want to get a nice smooth kind of coverage with a pencil, you should like do little circles rather than lines across, you know. But these are going to be kind of watered anyway, so. And then I've got.
It's difficult for them not to be smooth, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
dissolve them with water.
I've got all sorts of different little shades I can add later on for, like, you know, give pink cheeks and things like that as well. I think this one, out of all of them, this is one I'd like to see other people do their version of it, you know, because like I just think it's going to turn, by the time you've done the mask all different colours, you've maybe put patterns on them, you've drawn your own little eyes in. I mean, my eyes on the first one, what have I done with it? Oh, I lost it. Oh, was it still here? Yeah. No.
Oh, hey.
Oh, lovely.
Oh,
can you hear that?
Noise. It's like the noise.
Oh yeah, Mandy's suddenly got the winds blowing a hoolie down there as well.
Oh, that is very interesting. Yeah. There's a bit of sun shining through.
Yeah, we'll get a snow barrel thing. I'd never heard of it before, but up here just recently we had was it a fog bow, they called it. So it's like a rainbow, but fog rather than rain. It was incredible. A couple of people posted pictures of it. Yeah, so my faces on my first one were just like that, really simple, just little dots for eyes. But this time I've got some glasses and that as well. And I've sort of indicated a nose, but yeah. But I think you could do quite expressive, you could do little, like googly eyes, couldn't you? Or little, they could be sleepy eyes, or they could be little crinkled up laughing eyes, or you could do all sorts with them, I think. Right, I'm going to, just because I want to see how it's going to turn out. See, I get all these brushes out, and so far I've used, this is the second brush. I've done everything with this one.
You need to have the option.
It's a lovely one because it, like, you can see it like comes to a nice fine point. So you can get into little nooks and crannies, which will be important when I come to do the leaves in a minute. I just want to see how these colours are going to come out. Ooh. See, if I went through and coloured it all first, and then I just had to go over with a water brush, it would be a bit like that magic painting book kind of thing we used to have when we were kids.
Yeah.
In your case, that was probably called like an iPad or something. Oh. This isn't doing like ink tints do, coming up really intense as you wet it, but it does kind of smooth out.
Yeah, the ink tints are sometimes too intense.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
It can be
I've
too
been adding
much.
some of shading here. Just got a couple of dots along the edge. Oh, it's too much.
Thank you. And then I can go over, like, that one is a little bit too yellow probably. So I'll probably go over with a little bit of a pink or a bit of brown or something just to tone it down. But that'll have to be once the first layer is dried. This might be stultifyingly boring to watch, I don't know.
Well,
let's ask people some questions.
yes. Or if anyone has questions for you.
Or has anybody got questions for me?
Yeah.
I did think about doing a little mini craft room tour. By the time we got both of us in it, we can't really move very much. But
No, but I can temporarily not be in here. You know.
well, no, but then I couldn't manage to do a craft room tour by myself. I need my in-house expert, you see.
I'm pretty sure you've managed.
Noise cancellation is having a field day. Is it working though, Shorts?
I do hope so.
You've got some similar pencils, Mandy. Yeah, like these flesh tone ones or the ink tints, the flesh tone ones. It was like a portrait set that, yeah, I got out of Mum's flat. One of them, or two of them, I think, for some reason, don't work at all. You put water on them and absolutely nothing happens. I don't know what that is.
Disappointing.
Yeah. At some point, somebody suggested to me that it can happen when something has been done to them. I can't remember what it was. No, but she said, oh, it could be that.
Varnish them. Ah, that's a good question, Schultz. I think the
Who's
answer
your
is rats.
favourite son? Yeah, you are, Shorts. You can't have a favourite, you have to love them both equally. But
even if one of them is worse than the other.
But I do see a lot more of Tom because he's up here, and Rich is busy off all over the world.
Yeah. You have to put up with me
being
more
a
often.
big success, and
She especially enjoys it when I pat her head
no, she doesn't.
and imply that she's short.
Oh yeah, I forgot you've got. Yeah, how are you feeling, George? Are you feeling really poorly with it, or it's the first time you've had it, right? Isn't it? Because I know some people are getting it 2 and 3 times over, aren't they? I think especially when you got kids at school.
Yeah, children are
Yeah.
brilliant carriers of disease. I'm not going to compare them to rats, but...
Oh, thank you, Dana. Dana says it's not boring. That's good.
Glad to hear it.
Do you think it would be a good idea to bring the camera down a little bit? If I can still see what I'm doing. Oh, look, you got a close-up of my spider bite scar there.
Oh, nice.
The night before I left Cornwall, I actually slept on a mattress on the floor because that's all I had left. And when I woke up in the morning, there was this kind of double puncture mark. And I mean, you don't usually get like venomous snakes in Cornwall, you know. Well, we did have adders, didn't we? But, you know, I didn't usually have them in my flat. But but yeah, and then it went all nasty and took a few weeks to get better. It was actually tracking up my arm.
Finger, didn't I?
Yeah,
it
didn't go nasty. And one of the nurses at work actually said, "What on earth is that?" And she insisted on penning where it was to keep to keep track of how far it was tracking up my arm. And it did calm down, but yeah, it went all nasty and left this horrible. And then eventually, and that was 2006, so it's a long time ago, and it's now left that scar. I never did really find out what it was. You only have one. Well, it's easy for you because you've only got one daughter.
But it also means she's your least favourite daughter.
Thank you, Linda.
So a question for chat would be, would you enjoy seeing streams like this more often?
Yeah, and what kind of thing would you like to see streamed, I suppose, is the other...
So we can do the sort of getting people to join in type thing, or just
is that light
streaming the kind of thing you'd normally record.
I haven't got that
on
light on. Is that better or worse, that light? Oh, it's just gone off again anyway.
Yeah.
Well done. That's it.
I think it's better, probably.
Yeah. Bit tired and headachy. Yeah. Didn't get superpowers. Saying in a bit, why is my head like a sieve today?
Today?
Yeah. George is saying that's crazy, and Mandy's saying, no way, I don't remember you saying about that.
We're talking about your bite.
Oh, right. Oh, did I not tell you about it at the time? Probably because when I know what it was literally the night before I left that I got it. No, it must have been the night before because I went into work on that Friday, and then I started work up here on the Monday. So it must have happened on that Thursday night. I went into work on Friday. It was tracking up my arm. So yeah, probably yeah. Then I was up here, and I wouldn't have.
Difficult to tell people about it when you're not there.
Yeah.
Especially as the digital communication wasn't quite as straightforward.
No, it wasn't. No. Right, I feel like I need with everything in my hand. I feel like I need to speed up a bit here. Oh, this lady's going to be a bit red. Let's tone her down. Make her a bit brown. You can layer these over, so you can let them dry and do another layer, or you can layer them before you wet them, which is what I'm going to do with this one. And it's one of those things. It's a funny thing when you're either filming or streaming. It's harder than you think it's going to be to sort of really concentrate on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Especially if you're, and now I'm.
That's a problem.
Yes, yeah, yes. I'm sure I'm not alone in that.
No.
And especially if, like I am now, because I've brought the camera down a little bit, I'm sort of doing it a bit at arm's length. Whereas if you were sat doing it, I'd be doing what you're doing now, which is sort of sitting over it a little bit.
I've got pretty good lighting with the window here as well. Although your lighting should be good enough with that thing, but then the light's in your face.
But that's partly why I put that table there by the window, because I thought I'd work at it more, but in fact I don't.
Well, that's good news, Thornius.
What's that?
Thornius was having some knee trouble recently.
Oh yeah, constant painkillers aren't good for you, are they?
No. And at his age, having to have painkillers, whether constant or not, for your knees, it's not something you want.
No, it's not a good thing, is it? It's not good for you.
Oh, Dana would love a live stream with your stitching.
Oh, would you? Yeah. So, are you into slow stitching then, Dana? Or just discovering it? It's sort of fairly new to me. Well, it's new to me calling it slow stitching or slow stitching being a thing. I didn't realise it's kind of quite a worldwide kind of, not obsession, passion, really. And I love it because it's so low tech. I've got my little, here's my little slow stitching bag. It's just there. It goes downstairs with me in the evenings if I'm sitting and watching the telly, which I find I can't tend to just watch the telly and not do anything.
It's a good thing to do while you're
half watching something.
Yeah, you don't have to be fully
or chatting with friends,
with
you know. Yeah. And you can use up all those little odds and sods that you've ferreted away and don't want to throw away but don't really know what to do with.
It would make a good stream.
Oh, it's PP. Hello, PP.
Hi, PP.
And Susie's back.
Is it working now, Susie?
Yeah, she's saying she's finally connected. Oh, that's good, because I was worrying about you. I did say you were one of my early cheerleaders. Yeah. I would hate for you to
it's nice
not be at the party.
People have been for you on
people
YouTube,
have been so lovely. I can't. Yeah, I'm bowled over by it, really.
Yeah, we can't work out why you guys stick around.
I think it's a bit. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing sometimes because I like to try I like to do so many different things. This room is stuffed with so many different hobby supplies, and I use them all. And if I haven't used them yet, I need to. So I'm a bit. I don't know. There's too much variety on my channel. Maybe I don't know, but
yes, game streamers have a similar problem. It's like if you want to get lots and lots of viewers, you got to just play one game over and over again.
Yeah. I think for me, I just want to do what I love doing, and if people enjoy watching it as well, that's a bonus.
I see. People hopefully enjoy your personality as well as the art that you do.
My
they don't have to put up with you all the time.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. I'm lovely all the time.
Got no idea. Obviously, I'm very supportive, me.
I'm glad you're here too, Susie. I'm glad everybody's here. I can't believe it because I was thinking, I bet there'll be nobody, maybe one or two people will show up for 5 minutes, and it's lovely.
She was panicking so much before we started.
That's sweet, Mandy. Thank you. I'm just catching up backwards on the comments now. I felt bereft when you left, and that's why this is cool. Maybe I'll do it more often. Are you joining in, Mandy? You had to go with his oil paints yet? We did last time Mandy was up here. We did some jelly printing, didn't we? That was good.
Oh yeah.
So Dana said she's fairly new to it. She says, yes, it's very meditative. It's just lovely, isn't it? And you can't really do it wrong. I'm not, I think some people do absolutely beautiful, precise, artistic, proper embroidery, and I don't. I very much don't.
You can't do it wrong. Some people do it more right than others.
Yeah. Yes, that's what I say. Yeah. And there's so many different styles as well. So like a lot of people do. It's fairly sort of neutral and subtle and really pretty and very vintage and lots of old lace and things. And I love I've got lots of old lace and stuff, but I always like a bit of colour. My latest slow stitching project is my bunting. So there's an example of what I'm holding it up to the wrong thing. There's an example of what my slow stitching. It's not exactly subtle and neutral, but yeah. I found this little bit. This is in one of Mum's old boxes. I found this bit of stitching, so I'm going to incorporate that as well. So all those little bits like that you just don't know what to do with, you can find a home for. It's brilliant. Oh, do you know what? I think I've got a funny feeling I might have bitten off a little bit more than I can chew, thinking I was going to finish all this.
Yeah, I'm not going to finish both of these pictures.
No. Can I have a look at how yours is going?
I mean, if you want, yeah.
Oh, you've been far more... Oh, yours look way better. It's very annoying, but his actually look far better than mine do at the moment.
Would it make more sense to show it under the...
Oh. Yes, it would. There we go.
The big one.
So how have you got that shade in there? Is that using the... Yeah, that looks really good.
They added some brown to that one.
Yeah, and that one's... You've got green going around there too.
Yeah, that's what I was having to add dots around the outside. I didn't even have to do a line around there because that's too much ink.
And Tom's printed his off on his laser printer at home onto... Well, your proper Inktense paper wouldn't go through, would it?
No.
So you've done it on a fairly heavy cartridge paper?
So I found the watercolour paper instead.
Yeah, it was just way too heavy, wasn't it? You might have been all right with some of my... that would have been too fat.
Possibly, but then I'd be in the wrong house.
But that's working fine, isn't it? And you could even, if you wanted to, you could go back over the lines with pen afterwards if you
that
wanted to.
I got that one a bit too wet, so it started to crack a little bit in places. But...
Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Is that just using your finest brush that you said? Your finest. Your Tesco finest. Yeah.
None of that cheap muck.
Yeah, it is good, isn't it? I wish he would let me show you. Pass me your sketchbook a minute.
What sketchbook?
Pass me your sketchbook a minute, please.
Oh, yeah, sure, there you go.
Come on, look. Just to encourage other people. See, he's so, I
wonder where I get that from. What's that?
Somebody says he can't draw. He just sketched this quickly the other day. Look, Matt, what's he called, Matt? Lucas. I always call him George Dawes. Isn't that good? You can see it thin, can't you?
An old YouTube video of a VHS recording of shooting stars. So there was very little.
But for someone who says he can't draw, that's a really good likeness. I find it very difficult to get likenesses. That's a whole skill in itself. I think I will find this very therapeutic to do, but I think there's not a snowball's chance that I'm actually going to finish it today. I think I was being a little over optimistic. Oh. I just dropped that pencil and caught it between my knee and dropped it anyway. Marvellous.
Yeah,
oh, have we got another set of teddies?
This is horrible. Yes.
Come and say hello. Hang on, you've met.
Hello.
Hang on a second, I'm going to put you. You don't have to squat now, look. lots of people at Mandy and Georgia are here. Look. There they are. So even John's had a go at colouring in. That looks really good. Using my best pencils. Which ones did you use in the end?
Only about 6 different ones, as you can say.
That's lovely. That's lovely. You did it. Oh, he wasn't going to.
No.
Oh.
You can keep it as a present.
Oh, thank you. You can turn it into a Valentine's card.
You can frame it.
I'll laminate it and use it as a mouth mat. Oh, thank you. I will treasure it.
Yeah.
Oh, he really, really didn't want to do that, so I appreciate that. Oh, very precisely done. Right. I think I might go back to one of the others now. I need to keep the other. It's harder than you think to do 3 paintings all at the same time, especially if you keep getting distracted.
I mean, we all think it's pretty hard to do 3 at the same time. I think it's harder than we think.
Right, I think what I need to do is change my water again. Sorry.
I'll have to entertain.
I'm going to put you. I'll put you on face so that you can easily turn around and talk for a minute. I need to wash my palette as well because it's gross. Bear with.
Yeah, bear. I think my mistake with that picture she insisted on showing you was drawing Matt Lucas, because his face has no features. He's got no eyebrows or anything. It's very difficult for an amateur artist to
Right.
do anything with.
Better. I've done one tiny little corner of that. But I think I'm going to like it. I'm going to enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
The process will work. I just don't know if it will work as quickly as I need it to.
Yeah,
This
trying
is
to
already
get three done
coming
in
up.
2 hours was
Yeah. Speed will be
optimistic.
well on the way in 2 hours, and I should be able to, I should have time to be able to show you how to do this negative thing.
Yes, John, there is a fair delay.
Yeah, crikey! So he just got downstairs in time to see himself. So that's that is quite it's quite a delay. Right, so now when I cut out leaf shapes, you don't have to. When I've done it before, I've just like when I did it with those markers or whatever I used before, I just freehanded it. But I saw a lady. There's a lady that demonstrates this really well. I know I can't remember what her name is. And there's lots of. If you wanted to have a look at this, there's some amazing versions of this technique. If you just put in negative watercolour painting on YouTube, there's loads of it comes up. I had to go also at some trees. Let me leave that here somewhere. Yeah, that didn't come out really well. Let's go back to desk. Yeah, that didn't come out, but you can see kind of where it's going, and there are some really beautiful versions of this. So I'm going to have another bash at this. But the leaves is kind of the easiest thing to do. So I'm just going to randomly, you can see it's all gone quite pale now. I'm just going to randomly kind of, how hard isn't it to be random? You know, we weren't built to be random.
No, it's something that we struggle with.
Definitely. Oops.
Something we share with computers. They also
Now I could either use a hard pencil, or I could deliberately use a pencil that's going to dissolve in water, which would make more sense. Graphite that's going to dissolve in water. Have I got one? No, I'm just going to use a hard pencil because that's what like everybody would be able to get hold of more easily.
What am I up to over here? I'm carrying on with that bear thing. It's not done yet.
Spaz back. It's not bad, Raz. Look, we got some bears. We've got
Lions, some tigers.
we got part of a beginning of the crowd of people. And now I'm going back to the negative painting. John's done colouring in with the teddy bear sheet. And Tom's doing actually really well over there. He's quietly confident, I think.
Oh, I'm not confident.
It's looking really good. He's putting shading in and everything. Hang
It's not very accurate shading.
Mandy's
But you'll
random
have to
though.
do.
So Tom, why am I not actually surprised that you can draw so well? Yeah, it's not surprising because it's in the genes, isn't it? It's in the genes to love doing this kind of thing. And your dad was really good at watercolour painting and stuff as well, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah. We're just meat computers piloting flesh my soul. Yuck.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Right, Don just managed to get all the way downstairs and see himself on stream. Now, I've just realised I've done a stupid thing there. What you don't want to do at this stage is overlap. You don't want to overlap. Right, so that is reasonably random as my mind will let me be. I'm using a hard pencil so I can just about see the outline, but it's not going to show up too much. It'll make a really light line. Either that, or if you've got some, you can get like graphite pencils that are water soluble, so they'll just kind of disappear as you paint them. You could use a watercolour pencil, I suppose, but I think that might leave too much of a line. You want it to just like more or less disappear, really. Because these all have pencil lines and you can still see some of them, and you shouldn't be able to, really.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's the idea, is that you won't see them at the end. And like I say, you could definitely freehand this if you can't be asked cutting it out of card, but...
Say, the demonstrations I saw of the white Inktense pencils
Yeah.
do not accurately portray the results I'm getting.
It's often the way with demonstrations. Right, so now I need to... I should have spritzed these a minute ago so they could be warming up. Squelching up, whatever.
No, let's not say squelch.
And then I can use a big brush at this point because like it'll all happen a bit quicker if I do. So I want to be a little bit deeper colour than last time, but I still don't want to go too dark. So I'm adding quite a lot of water. Some yellow as well. Yeah, I think these paints aren't too easy to wake up. I'm finding I'm having to work quite hard to get enough colour. It's taking me longer than it should to get enough colour here. But for £6.50, I'm pretty impressed with them.
You can't expect too much for that, can you?
No. Suppose I could mix colour in the middle of all these as well, actually.
Yeah, have you tried that water-soluble graphite stuff? It's like a graphite watercolour.
Yes, of course I have. I've got whole sets of it.
Is it any good?
Yes, it's lovely. And it kind of comes out... I'll do a YouTube video on it. I'll maybe paint with that next time. Yeah, it kind of comes out... It's got colour in it, but with graphite. It's really hard to explain the effect.
So if I'm talking about, it's just pure graphite.
Yeah, and there is pure... Yeah. Yes, I think I've got that as well, and I've got it in pencil form too. There's this stuff called Graphy Tint, which is quite good, and I've forgotten the make of the. Some of this stuff I've got because I get that Scrawler box.
It's such a good way to try out new things, isn't it?
Yeah, it's things that you might not. It wouldn't occur to you to have otherwise, really.
Because sometimes you have to buy it in a big old set.
Yeah.
For a lot of money, and you're not sure you're going to use any of it, let alone.
Yeah.
12 different varieties of it.
And they tend to they'll get like custom sets made up, so you get a nice little mixture of colours that you just wouldn't get otherwise. Okay, I'm going to go for this. Some of these colours are getting a bit muddy, doesn't matter, they're leaves. Maddie thinks she's got some of those graphite pencils. They're really good for that. Just not, definitely not as good as you lot. Yeah, you just need to do more of it, George. That's all it is.
I'm pretty certain I'm not good either.
As long as you enjoy it, I think that's the thing. Don't force yourself to do it if you don't enjoy it. But if you want to do it and you enjoy the process, just don't get too hung up on the results to start with. That's what I tend to do, and I get all cross with myself sometimes.
Yes, there's a recent video you guys can check out if you want proof of that, actually.
Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint only the negatives, what it's called negative painting, only the negative space I'm painting around these leaves.
I'm always negative about my paintings.
I've got a bit crooked there, but it don't matter. And I want all these different colours. I don't want it all. That's a little bit too deep. Get some water in there. Do seem to be quite pigmented, these paints. Don't want any hard lines, so I'm going to keep just adding water to these edges so they don't go. So they don't set hard, kind of thing.
Yeah. Find with these ink tints things, kick them down is very important.
Yeah.
It's
a useful tool.
Yeah, you put down a little bit, like you can just touch the inner thing with the brush and paint a bit on, but then if you carry on like that, you can't get any soft edges because it just keeps adding more and more.
Right,
ink.
yeah.
So to keep the water there and then blot it off on the kitchen towel.
Sometimes
Blend away.
A cotton bud can be a handy thing as well when you get into the more detaily bits. Yeah, this has all gone brown now because it's all mixing together, but I quite like the brown, that's fine. Oh, we've got some purpley going on.
Yes, you get people who say that you should never use a pure black, always sort of mix a very dark brown from different colours and so on.
Yeah.
There are very few pure black things in nature.
In theory, if you mixed everything together, you should get a black, shouldn't you? But
yeah.
In practice, I haven't found that to be, but you can get certainly a nearly. Again, I want to be leaning my head right over this paper, and I can't do it because of the angle I'm trying to do this at. But
yeah. You get so many people on YouTube videos having exactly that problem, just like because they've got a camera, they have to work from a metre away.
It's not a natural way to work. I'm trying to hop all around the page just so that I'm keeping all the edges soft. I don't want any kind of hard lines there like that. I'm just keeping that soft. Just keep dotting around and keeping the edges wet so that it doesn't set like that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And now, although there's no more leaves here, I need to carry on and paint the whole of the background because that will be important for later on layers. Oops. At least getting smaller and smaller. It's a bit like your mum cutting your fringe when you're a kid. It just gets shorter and shorter. Don't matter. Don't matter.
A bit like my mum, she keeps getting shorter and shorter.
Bloody hilarious. Hilarious. Not.
Oh, dear. Not that I mean, there's anything wrong with you.
I haven't seen Susie comment for a while. I hope she's still there. Susie, are you going? I don't think you were here when we were saying just now. Are you actually painting along? Is anybody out there painting along? And in case you weren't here when we said, if you do, I've put my email in the about bit on my YouTube thing. So take a photo and send it to me so I can do a little share at the end of a video or something, just so everybody can see what we all did. I'd love to see
the people sent in.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Right, so I know that doesn't look too impressive at the moment, but you can kind of see where I'm going. This needs to dry now, and then what I will do is get these templates again and start overlapping them, and then you paint the negative space again. So that needs to set aside to dry. Let's keep these spritzed because that does seem to help a bit.
So this negative painting is a bit like that street art thing you often see where they put various different round things down and do what looks like messy painting stuff and then pull all things off and suddenly
I haven't actually seen that, but yeah,
always fun.
Right. Yes, it is looking autumnal this time, whereas last time it was more rainbow. I don't think you have to draw from memory though. George, I draw from photos a lot. And sometimes I use a lot of, trying to draw that dragon's eye I did recently. It was a combination of photos of lizards on, like I got, Googling, and also photos of Archie the cat. It was Archie's eye, really. So,
old Archie.
PP saying TTKs are working hard to get Annie's other side to show. No. Susie is here. I have to admit I'm not, but I'm interested in what you're doing as I've never done it. Brilliant. As long as you're enjoying it, I don't care how you enjoy it. Yeah. I don't think many people just draw from memory. What I haven't done a lot of, that we did do at art school but it was years ago, and I haven't done a lot since, is drawing from life. I think it's a whole new skill.
Yeah,
when
that's
you watch them
to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you're doing it from a photo, you've already got the compression from 3D down to 2D done.
Yes, it's kind of already, yeah. Although that's harder to see until you've practiced a bit, actually. Even so, I think I'm being careful not to kind of go too close because I don't want to reactivate this pink one. What did I say I was going to do? Purple, didn't I? I need to see if I can mix up some purple. I almost wish I'd got my acrylic inks out for this one. I'd have got real vibrant colours with them.
You still could.
No, I'm going to stick with these. I don't want to make it even more complicated, really.
Fair enough.
Ooh,
I wish I hadn't used this colour.
So I want to try and get a bit of a purple.
Use the dark green and boy, it's coming out brown.
You can always blot it.
I'm going to quickly spread it as much as I can.
It's definitely, the more, I've just painted my face. I think the more you work with these kind of different suppliers, you find all these ways around it, don't you?
Yeah.
See if I can manage to get a purple.
So I was making that green more vibrant.
Oh no! Look what I've done.
Oh no!
Oh.
You're going to splash on it at some point anyway.
Yeah, it's fine. No, I wasn't going to splatter on this.
Well then, yes you are.
I am now. This is a whole different experience from streaming on Twitch, isn't it? And it's a very different experience from filming, knowing that you're going to edit. And
yeah,
the more I do the filming, the more I'm learning to kind of film it as I know it's going to stay, so I don't have to do so much editing, really.
Yes, that's the goal, isn't it? You kind of edit in camera almost.
Yeah. When I first started, I was taking as long editing as I was doing the thing, you know.
Yeah, and you've gotten better at the editing, so you've got quicker at that now.
Yeah.
You're using new software, which you picked up very quickly.
Well, the thing is, the whole like YouTube thing it's a hobby in its own right. It's a different skill, you know, that you've got to learn the same as anything else. But I do enjoy it, and it does sometimes sort of give me a motivation to sit and do something rather than just think, oh, I can't quite be bothered today. I'm not, you know, because I know as soon as I do something, I always feel better. If I have a day when I don't do something creative, all is not right with my world.
It can sort of take quite a lot of energy to get started.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I think that's where the whole YouTube thing helps. It gets me started.
Yeah.
And and I just, you know, I just have loved all the people just say such lovely things. It's definitely a boost, isn't it? You know, there's no getting away from it. These bears are getting a bit abstract. I think I still have faith it will look pretty in the end. I hope.
But I mean, it's going to look at least as good as the drawing, isn't it?
No, not necessarily. See what George is saying. Gran made me sit and draw loads of portraits when I stayed with her years ago. I really enjoyed it. Photos definitely easier. Yeah, it's also about it.
Yeah, one should never feel bad about using reference in art.
PG's saying it's a very different experience from Twitch.
Yeah, using reference when doing art is just an important step. It's great to do stuff from imagination, but you kind of got to get used to creating stuff from reference before you can know how to create stuff from your imagination.
Even when you've imagined something, the imagination is an important part of it, but then I still think you need a reference to help make that imagination become real.
Yeah, you don't learn to be a writer without learning the alphabet first.
No. I'm sure. I don't feel the least bit guilty. I wouldn't use a reference as in copying someone else's painting or something. Being inspired by someone else's painting, though, is fine.
When you're learning, copying someone else's painting for the practice.
Oh, definitely.
Alone,
as long as you're not like claiming it as your own or something. Yeah. I seem to have a couple of missing ends of limbs and things here. I didn't notice I had. Right. I'm basically just getting the base layer down on all these, I suppose, really.
I started just using these as tiny, inconvenient watercolour things, just for speed.
Another thing you can do with them, I don't know if you've tried it, is just flicking them straight off the pencil.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tiny, inconvenient
watercolours. Let me just show you in case... so like what he's saying there is like you can get your brush with water and just take it straight off the pencil, and actually you can flick with like that as well. It's quite nice.
Yeah,
like you say, like a little mini watercolour.
That means I can fill in a whole bear in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
With a base colour.
Yeah, and then you can do the more intense.
Yeah. These water brushes with the intense are brilliant.
Good combination.
Yeah.
And did you say you haven't actually tried the paper yet? Or have you? Is it better? Is the Inktense paper better?
I haven't tried it. But probably. The only problem I'm having with this so far is that I do need to give it enough time to dry because it starts to get quite weak.
So then, I'll tell you what you could try while you've got them out, if I can find it in a minute. I've got some black paper that's supposed to work with those. I'll find it in a minute. I'll be interested to see how you get on with that.
I feel like these would work very well on black paper.
No. It might be for something else. I might be lying on it. Just
I mean, it's happened before, yeah.
I have lied a lot, yes. I feel really weird just sitting and doing this with everybody watching. It's weird, isn't it? Because I mean, I do I don't know. It's a funny
you kind
thing.
of sit here and do this stuff for people who are watching just with more of a delay normally.
Yeah.
Granted, you cut out a lot of the waffling in your editing.
Yeah, I do waffle.
But then maybe people would prefer you left the waffling in. Who knows?
Yeah. I find that sometimes when I'm just doing like cooking dinner or something, I narrate myself.
Yeah. Keep your YouTube skills sharp.
Yeah. But if I'm doing something that I think is really boring, it makes it less boring if I narrate myself. That is weird enough.
You do watch your own videos.
I probably shouldn't have admitted that in public.
I think what you should start doing is keeping a blooper reel of all there's
a lot of
you
bloopers.
cut out. I reckon people would enjoy watching that occasionally.
Mandy says that the bears are looking good from the outside, so that's good. I tell you what, I find a weird thing. I find sometimes I think I'm looking at this thinking, well, it looks like rubbish, and then I look at the camera and it looks better, or the other way around. And I also find sometimes if I can't see the detail, especially when I'm working at arm's length, I can see better on the camera than I can through my bare eyes. My bare eyes.
You have the right to bare eyes.
We have another pink one up here, just to even out the pink. Oh, this is
the delay is quite high.
Very pink.
PP, but
yeah, I don't think we can do much about that. Yeah.
There is a slightly lower latency mode we could have chosen. I went with the low rather than ultra low because I figured reliability would probably be more important than short delay. YouTube is great, but it's not the best streaming platform in the world. The chat isn't. The interface, like people were saying earlier, is not fantastic.
I don't know how a lot of people manage to stream to YouTube and Facebook at the same time, don't they? It's just all a bit too overwhelming for me.
I could set that up for you. It'd be no harder than this. You just need to look at two chats at once, which
that is harder.
I mean, yeah, but you'd get used to it quickly.
Yeah, I am sort of getting used to remembering to keep looking up. Yeah, waffling, mumbling on, no particular direction. Yeah, I shouldn't admit stuff public. Do you know, sometimes stuff just comes out my mouth, George.
Yeah, sure does.
Right. Yeah, you do something really boring. I'm peeling the potato by bringing the potato peeler in this direction. No, I haven't done it with potatoes, but I've certainly done it with making sandwiches for work. Yeah. Now, TTK just already made that joke, PP. Is that bare eyes related to bare arms? I think you said something about the right to bare eyes, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, great minds think alike.
Fools seldom differ. Oh, that's a lot of water. One problem with these brush pens is sometimes they do just decide, okay, you need all the water in the world right now.
I know, yeah. I had one in a schooler box that was supposed to be more controllable because it had a button on it or something, but I didn't like it. I didn't get on with it. I just prefer the ones where you just, I feel like I'm dabbing paint around. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing.
See, I also have no idea what you're doing.
The difference with doing this live is that you kind of, well, I could have a tantrum and throw it in the bin.
You could, yeah.
I will try not to do that. I need to do something about this one because he's a bit blobby and strange. He needs to be more blue. Let's have that blue. The right to bare eyes. Oh! That's gone a bit scary.
Terrifying.
Some of the blues are very pigmented, aren't they? I love that there's certain, like, when you use proper watercolours, there's like certain blues that really kind of granulate in a really beautiful way. I'm not very good at remembering which. I'm quite lazy about things like, I don't swatch properly and I don't,
Didn't they recently, like for the first time in 200 years, come up with a new blue pigment?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, yeah. And then there's things like that blackest black paint, isn't there? Which I have got some of to play with. I must have to go with that sometime. You got me that a couple of years ago, didn't you?
Yes, the black 3.0.
Yeah, black 3.0. I must do something with that.
Stuart Semple, I believe. In response to Anish Kapoor.
Yes. He objected
not letting
to...
anyone use this really black stuff. Vanta black.
Yeah. So he came out with the blackest black. And hasn't he since done a pinkest pink?
Yes. And a glowiest glow, which you also have.
Yes. Oh, the glowiest glow is amazing.
I don't think he calls it glowiest glow.
No.
Whatever he
it's
calls
glow,
it.
I forgot what it's called. Not glow up, that's a... Oh, now I've got a red bear. I don't think this red bear quite fits in.
I'll just have a red bear. Well, second red bear.
Have you? Oh, I'm just... No,
his leg is much redder than his head.
My legs are better than my head, so...
The head is where too much water came out.
Have I ruined that now with that?
Yes.
Right, okay, third layer, we'll save everything. Okay. Is this dry enough yet for another layer? I feel like I'm having to ramp it up a bit now because time is ticking on. So I said I'd do a couple of hours, didn't I?
You did.
Which only leaves me to half an hour. This isn't actually dry.
You said you'd do 3 paintings at once. You didn't say you'd finished.
Didn't say I'd finished them. It might be a question of having to finish them, and perhaps I'll do a follow-up video of finishing them, something like
At least
that.
everyone knows where to find your YouTube.
Yeah.
You find her YouTube here, where you already are. It's all kinds of nonsense on there.
Right, let's have a bit more. I want some deeper colours with this layer now. I need to do at least another couple of layers on this, which means I'm going to have to do it now before it's, because it's dry to touch, but it's still quite undulated. Interesting thing happening down here. I'm not sure what's going on there. Really not sure what's causing that. I'm not going to worry about it. Starting to wish I'd used the paints I used. Oh, no, I did use these paints last time.
It's because you're doing it on stream, so it's bound to go wrong.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Well, I say wrong. It hasn't really gone wrong, has it?
No, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's going to be fine.
It's all fine. This is exactly as intended.
Yeah, where did that time just go? Yeah, and if you could put that's right. Yeah, yeah. What is this thing? I miss having a cat leaping onto my keyboard.
Thornies would like to know what undulated means.
It means going up and down like hills.
Imagine Perlin noise displacement, Thornies.
You've been a nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I probably should have just broken out, rather than just trying to use only this. I should have probably broken out a different palette, because this palette is what they keep migrating. The colours keep migrating into each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Follow-up live stream. I could do a follow-up live stream.
You could.
Yes, gently moving along in an up and down fashion. Yes. People can also undulate.
See? Thornies knew what I was talking about.
Right, so I've got my little paints ready. I'm going to give them a bit of a spritz. I still don't want them too dark because I want another layer yet. And I would probably want to do 4 or 5. I think with this one, it was 1, 2, 3, 4. It's probably 4 layers. That's all. So this time I'm going to get my templates again, and this time I'm going to overlap a little bit, and I'll come out over this way more too. Don't have to overlap all of them, just it's so hard to make it look random, isn't it? You just can't help but make things in rows. Like, suddenly you think, oh, I've made rows.
We are very hardwired
I don't
to see and therefore create
pattern. Yeah. So I don't want. I'm just going to leave it like that because I haven't really got time to faff too much. I can't stop it looking like rows. That's better. Let's have one off the page then. You want them to overlap with the previous layer, but not overlap with each other, really. So
yeah,
it is. And I'm going to draw around these, but not draw over the bit where the first leaves are. So I'm stopping here. So this leaf will go underneath that leaf. I'll probably over-explaining there, but you know.
Yeah, so you end up with like a gentle snoozing puppy noise quite often in the evenings, don't you?
No.
And all the fuss is about, really.
Right. What's that? So now I might need a smaller brush, but I think I'm going to try with a bigger brush because it'll be quicker. And I might need to.
Speed is everything.
Yeah, I might need to panic and add some more water. Yeah, I do.
Drop them from a height, says Mandy.
Drop what from a height?
I don't remember.
Oh, drop the templates. I might do that for the next one. See how that works out. I have done that before when trying to be random. Yeah, it's a good idea. Right, so this time I'm still painting only the negative space. So I'm painting around the leaves that I've just drawn and around the leaves that are in that first layer. And I've also got to keep these edges wet all the time so that they don't set like before.
Mandy has since retracted her message about dropping leaves from height, apparently.
Oh, actually, why? Has it not worked for you?
No idea, it just says message retracted. I'm guessing it was an accident because the YouTube chat UI is problematic.
Ah. Sorry if I get a bit engrossed now with this bit. I need to sort of work quite quickly with this, so
yes,
I can't sort of do and talk always.
I can't always do without talking, frankly.
Just keep these edges moving. Keep the edges moving.
Always moving.
Bit of purple. So with each subsequent layer, you get, the idea is that you get more intense until finally it's really quite dark. And you've got to make sure that you paint the whole of the background with every layer. Like I say, even like that before, where there weren't any leaves, you still got to paint it, because otherwise that background won't get darker each time. If that makes any kind of sense at all.
Well, it makes some kind of sense.
Yeah.
What's talking about again?
Keep the edges moving, keep the edges moving. Oops. And then you can like go back into it once it's all dry and you've done all the layers, and add some pen work as well, which can look really nice. Or you know, you could use white pen on it as well. And it looks lovely. People do this technique with, well, like the trees, like I showed you, but better versions of. And I saw one with hearts the other day, which looked really nice. Quite nice. Any sort of reasonably simple shape will work. I would, if I wasn't doing it under these circumstances, I'd probably be a little bit more careful. But you can see you haven't got to be too careful. And the more layers you do, the sort of better it starts to get. I will have to move down to a smaller brush probably, but this kind of goes down to a nice little point, although it's quite a fat brush. Keep the edges moving, keep the edges moving.
No, don't worry, you don't have to join from the start. Good to have anyone here at any point.
Hey, now this is a lady that I have like commented back and forth with a few times, and in my head I call you Marie. Is it pronounced that way? Because it's funny, sometimes people's YouTube names aren't a name at all, are they? So, like I know Susie's name, for instance, now, although her YouTube name doesn't say that. I like being able to put a real name to people. Oh, look, I've just tipped all those colours in together.
Oh, no.
However you say your name, I'm calling you Marie in my head. It's nice to see you. I think I'm probably got about another half an hour, because I said I'd go a couple of hours, but it's going to block that.
It's entirely possible you'll be doing more streams in the future. People seem to not hate that idea. Right, it's not like you've not done streams before, just not...
It's not, not like this.
No.
Right, that's that. Right, so I've got no hard edges left. Have I covered the whole background? Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Thorny. It's very helpful.
Yeah. Pee-pee isn't pee-pee.
No.
It's shorts.
No.
No.
You know his real name, you've seen it before.
Oh, we do know it, actually. I can't remember it, but I'd know it if I saw it, yeah.
I mean, obviously we wouldn't
So
say
it would always be shorts to me, but we wouldn't say it.
Oh, anyway.
Otherwise we might have to kill someone.
Yes, that would be.
Right, so that's that layer done. I know it doesn't look very impressive at the moment, but you can see where it's so with another layer and then at least one more layer, those colours will really start to deepen and build up. I think I might put a bit more blue and yellow in next time, because I quite like the look of that in this one. But we'll see. It kind of makes itself up as it goes along, really. Okay, on to... So it's my real name, but it's pronounced Mary. Ah, right. Right. That makes more sense. You're in Idaho. 0 degrees.
Ooh.
Oh, and it's morning. So she's warming up with a cuppa. It's the morning. It's still the morning, though, isn't that weird? I know, who was it? I can't remember who it was. It might have been Helen. Anyway, a lady that I was talking to on YouTube comes from Australia, and she was saying it's going to be like 3 a.m. or something, so she's not going to be able to make it. But
yeah, that's...
I think that's fair enough.
Understandable.
Yeah, I don't think I'd sit up till 3 a.m. Well, I might, because I don't always sleep. But
I mean, even here, it's
that's
just too early for my liking. It's 2 p.m. nonsense.
Oh no, it's the cat that retracted the message. Oh. Naughty Thomas. Thank you, Susie votes for more streams.
Well, I'm certainly willing to help.
His name is clearly TTK. Yeah, definitely.
It is,
yeah. Oh no, it wasn't. No, I should be going back to this one now. I've hardly done anything on this one. I think because it's just going to be quite time consuming. In hindsight, what I wish I'd done was scribble all the faces in before I started, and then I could have just activated them.
Yes, I suppose that makes sense. Yeah.
What I might do now, rather than like carry on and do more of that, I might just work on these ones and just add a bit of I could give some rosy cheeks here. And I wanted to knock back the colour of this one a little bit. I just like doing a bit of layering on these ones that I've got.
Yes.
And do a bit of hair and stuff just on the one corner, and then I'll finish the rest of it either in a subsequent stream, or perhaps I'll just record myself finishing them off and do something else if I do another stream. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I like these little pencils. They're quite nice, actually. I don't think they would have been expensive ones. I think they were like, the make was Derwent Academy, and I think they're Derwent Academy, are like they're cheap. The German's cheaper ones, and these are quite old as well. These must be years old. I mean, Mum passed away 2009. How many years is that? 12 years. She probably had already had them for quite some time. So
it sounds like cheap version of their pencils for students.
Yeah.
On a limited budget.
Yeah,
which is definitely a good thing to exist,
Yeah. Well, I always think with art supplies, as with many other things, buy the best you can afford. But, if you can't afford really super duper ones, it's nice that there is a cheaper alternative.
I do get annoyed when you get artists who, on YouTube, who complain when someone asks what pencil they're using. So it's not the pencil that makes the art. We're not saying that.
Well, it does make a difference, though.
And it does make a difference.
Yeah.
Because I know that when I was doing art in school, I was very much put off by the fact that everything turned out terrible because it was awful pencils on terrible paper. Yeah,
it's frustrating. I think, quite often kids are given really rubbish pencils and felt pens and rubbish paper and that. And they, but you give them really nice. I mean, when I let the grandchildren have a go with my fancy pencils and stuff. Well, I did. I dug out some because I've got plenty, so I dug out some extras.
You do have a pencil too,
and took them round, and they're
And of course, no pencil is going to make.
I stopped mid-sentence then, didn't I? Sorry, No, but but I think practice is what makes you into a good artist. Yeah. And you won't want to practice if you're given rubbish.
I used to think I was terrible at soldering. Turns out I was using a terrible soldering iron and bad solder.
I used to think I was terrible at soldering. It turns out it's just because I was bad at soldering.
Well, that also, yeah.
But I have now got I've got a little dinky soldering iron that you've given me for Christmas, haven't I? So I must have a go on that soon. I've got a dragonfly a brooch in my head that I want to make, and I think soldering would help me with that. Oh look, now I'm getting some hair on them. This is going to bring them to life. I'll forget to watch Mandy saying more streams as well.
Yep.
Yeah, see, shading with a hard pencil, you just Yeah, definitely. I think the thing is, don't feel like you've got to get everything, but get the best you can afford. And to be honest, I'd rather have 2 or 3 colours of a good quality pencil or paint or whatever.
Yes.
And learn to mix. I did an interesting exercise recently, and now I'm not going to be able to remember the name.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Short knew it before because I think it was a Swedish artist. And his work was amazing. And he just worked with a very limited palette. So it was a certain blue, a certain red, and a certain yellow. Was it yellow ochre, cadmium red, and some kind of blue? I can't remember now. And he just did all of it, and he did the most amazing portrait work and all sorts of subjects. But I properly kind of swatched it and everything and mixed all the colours with all the colours, and and you could just get a massive range of colours just with those 3. So I'd rather have those 3 in good quality paint than a whole load of paints, a whole load of colours in rubbish paint, if that makes any kind of sense.
Yeah. And learning to get what you want from a limited palette improves your skills in mixing and recognising what colours are wrong and so on.
Yeah.
Like, especially with faces, learning to do it with limited colours, not just a skin tone pencil. Yeah. Makes you appreciate all the different colours that are in a face.
Yeah.
And the amount of green in a face is
I put weird colours in faces sometimes. Purple and yellow and pink and green, orange and da 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 da. Yeah. Mandy's saying some of her best drawings were done with a biro. Yeah. I've seen some amazing stuff done with biros, And the thing about working with a biro is you've got to be spontaneous. You can't take it back. If you do that thing where you're not allowed to take it off the page, it's a thing we were set at art school once. We had to go, they took us to a scrapyard and we had to sit there with these big kind of A2 or A3, I think, layout pads. cheap paper on our laps, sitting in the scrapyard, and we had to just draw what we saw without looking at the paper and without taking our hand off. And it was really, oh my God, but actually an interesting exercise. Yeah. You can do blind contour drawings as well, where you do like you can do a self-portrait without looking at yourself. Some people do it by feeling their way with their fingers around their face and drawing what they feel.
Yeah, that would not be for me.
Yeah, comes out weird. Mine came out very weird, but realistic.
Okay, sorry.
I just said it before you did.
You have to get in there quick.
Yeah.
Not that I would ever insult my delightful mother. As you guys all know, she's not a terrible person at all.
No one's listening to you. No one's paying you any attention.
That's lucky.
Well, I am not going to get very far with this, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to finish this one painting.
Yeah.
I say painting.
But I have enjoyed it, and I have enjoyed having everybody chatting along while I do it.
Yes, we must do more of these.
Yeah.
Maybe not as often as your videos, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get blonde now, but let's see how that looks when I wet it. So what I'll do, probably I will finish this one. I might even carry on working on it later on today. Well, that's fairly blonde looking, isn't it? That's not bad for blonde.
Apparently they are listening to me.
You're not big and you're not clever. What I was saying now.
You're trying to get blonde at some point.
Oh yeah, that was all right. Yeah, I'm happy with the blonde now. Yeah, I will probably finish this later tonight or over the next couple of days. Seem to be in the habit of squeezing too much stuff into my life at the moment. And
yeah.
And I will post the results. And I would love it if anybody has had a go at the colouring sheet or anything. Send me a photo and I'll share that as well.
Yeah, it's on the About page for your channel. There's the click on the thing for business inquiries. It has your email address in there, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's a bit of a faff. People have to go to find it then, isn't it?
Well, they want to make sure that people can't just easily find it with a bot so that you can be spammed.
Oh, right. Yeah, that makes sense, I suppose. Yeah. I mean, I did set up a specific email for it.
Yeah.
Because I did think, I might get, spammed. Oh. Well, this dries a lot quicker.
Yeah.
That's probably because of the difference in the paper. Have you tried using those ink tints straight onto already wet paper? That's a whole different kettle of fish.
I've seen people trying it.
Yeah.
But
I've just done it now, and I've just got a scribble I can't get rid of now.
You saw me the first time, and it was
right.
Not really productive.
I think I'm gonna have to admit defeat. I was way too ambitious. But what would be nice, I don't know what on earth is happening there, but I quite like the look of it. I'm gonna have to go in and do this third layer now way sooner than I probably would otherwise. So I'm going to overlap again, just because I want to kind of show you the sort of basic technique of it, really.
I'm going to call this one done because I can't be bothered with it anymore.
Because you're just fed up. Oh, I think that's brilliant. Look, you've got some lovely shading in there, and I like the little drop shadows have worked well. That's good, isn't it? Tell him how good it is.
Don't tell him.
Yeah, if you're not COVIDy, you might feel more like joining in. But it's lovely to have you here, even if you... Yeah, they can hear you. Oh, good. Layla just had her first negative test. Brilliant.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. hang on, what is faces have a yellow part. So Thornies is saying faces have a yellow part, a blue part, and a red part. Forehead is yellowish, cheeks and face. Yes, I've heard that too. Yeah, now you say it, I remember that. Yeah.
There's one problem with that approach of using the brush on the tip of the pencil is it looks like a bite's been taken out of the...
Yes, it does eventually, yeah. You end up having
But I've got a sharpener here. So.
Yeah. It is a good way of using them. I use them a lot that way.
Yeah.
Look at me with my patterns. Stop it with the just do that. Let's try Mandy's suggestion of let's just see what happens if I just firm that. See, that's... No, that's not right, is it?
It's a terrible idea, mate.
I think the cat was right to retract that comment.
Smart cat.
Right.
Well, you're all too kind in chat.
They're lovely, aren't they?
Well, we already knew they're too kind because they're subscribing to you.
Yeah.
I need to refill my...
Yeah. And so Mary's saying that it's much better than hers, but that's probably not true. But that's very nice to say. And Susie's saying, well done, those teddies look like I can pick them up. Great shading. There you go. Dana says lovely. There we are. Oh, what the thing about the pink and the yellow, the pink and the red. Yeah. Yeah. I've definitely heard that, but not when I was at school. I think more recently I heard that. Definitely makes sense. Sometimes my face is just red all over.
Yeah, mine, if I've just walked up the stairs.
Yeah.
Found the trick with that.
I just want to get at least one more layer done before I stop. So I'm going to overlap much. Let's do that. I'm painting on this. Oh, I've just gone over the... oh. Got another one there, which I must have forgotten last time. So
with these ink tints things, if you really enjoy doing the dabbing it on the pencil rather than using it like a watercolor pencil type thing,
yeah,
you can just buy the blocks of them instead.
Yes, we've got the ink tints blocks at work. They've just come in actually. I was looking at them thinking, can I excuse... Oh, I was going to suggest, I've just remembered that we had to go with this while you've got your ink tints here.
Oh, the black.
Yeah. Black watercolour paper.
I'm done with this one. I'm making a statement.
You don't have to make nice noises about this one because, like, I would hate the slurping of bubble tea. Although I have now tried bubble tea because Tom did buy me some.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's feeling sane there. Oh, we made Susie laugh. That's good. Feeling says, I so like that leaves painting. It's a negative space thing. Yeah. And it gets quite addictive to do it, I think, because when you're just quietly doing it by yourself, it's very meditative because you've just really not got to think too hard about what you're doing. And it's one of those things, if you don't like it yet, you haven't finished, just keep going, do more layers, and eventually you think, oh, look at that, it did it by itself.
Yeah, eventually it's like 2 inches thick because you've got so many layers, but that's fine.
Yeah. I just wondered if perfect with possible. Yeah.
I mean,
I'd just be very interested to see if they show it all on there.
Yeah. I imagine they might show a bit without being watered down, but then once you do, they're very translucent.
And also try it with the white.
Yes.
Because that will make it more opaque, won't it? Right, let's get this. How long have I got? Oh, 3 minutes.
Although I'm clearly not done with this. I do like the blue that pencil is managed in one layer. It's quite a good mask
perfect blue. It is if you wanted to make it. Yeah, I'm going to have to carry on with these, aren't I? Clearly, I'm not going to be able to.
Yeah, you're not going to get these finished.
Let it lie. But, yeah, but I can't bring myself to not finish them either because I'm quite enjoying them. Longer. No. I said 2 hours, and I'm going to stick with that. So I love doing this. I actually do. Oh, look at that. I actually do find it quite tiring though.
It does take a lot of energy.
Yeah. Right. That's that. I've got dirty water now, and I really haven't got time. Seeing as time has actually officially already run out, I have not got time to go and get more water. So this is going to be well muddy, isn't it?
Do you want me to go and get some more water?
You could just change that one, please, if you don't mind.
Yeah, okay, in the bathroom sink, right?
Yeah, that's what I always do. All sorts gone down that sink. I do try to not to put a lot of paint down the sink. I tend to roll off onto an old art journal or something like that when I can, rather than put too much rubbish down the sink.
Speed reload.
I can't believe how much I thought I was going to do. I'm always optimistic.
Every time we stream it's this, isn't it? I think we'll play 3 games.
Yeah, no, we're not.
We'll manage 1.
Yeah, basically we're gonna chat for about an hour.
Well, that's good because people want to chat.
Yeah.
Who are we to say no?
Well, it's one of the things that makes it different from doing just, you know, a film, isn't it? That, you know, you... Yeah,
what we're doing is celebrating to thank the lovely people for subscribing to.
Yeah.
And hopefully we're not so dull that this is just annoying them rather than...
Mandy says you're hilarious. Georgia says we just stocked up on Amazon. Bought Layla and Alice a bubble tea kit each. Yes. The devil's in the detail. Right. I'm going to finish this layer and then I'm going to stop. Because I have got some spag bowl to make, or spag bog as John called it.
Spag bog.
Okay,
do not put spaghetti in your toilet, guys. Just a little safety announcement. You just have to call a plumber.
Oh, look, I know what I keep doing is tipping it. I'm holding this palette, I'm tipping it, and I'm tipping all the colours into each other, and that's why they're turning into mud everywhere. I've mixed myself a lovely vibrant purple, and I've just mixed it in with the green, and of course it's got completely muddy, but it doesn't matter. It's fine. It's all good.
Yeah.
Keep the edges moving. Keep the edges moving. A bit red.
Yeah, the chatting's the important part of this. No worries about getting things done.
Yeah.
No thoughts. Just no.
Yeah, that sounds wrong on a couple of different levels. There. It's getting deeper and deeper now, that colour, isn't it?
Trying so hard not to make stupid faces while I concentrate over here, even though the likelihood is people wouldn't be able to fully see the stupid face I was painting.
Yeah, see, over here, people would be able to see my stupid face.
Also, apologies if my head is too shiny, by the way, guys. We had this problem before.
Yeah, sometimes we get a real glare off it, don't we?
Yeah.
Oh, I see, this is a completely different colour result from the last time. I didn't think it through at all. I've just kind of let it happen, but I actually really like how these colours are gone now. And yet I thought I was using the same colours that I used last time, but they've come out very, very different, haven't they? Oops, oh, just painted straight over that. Get out of the room. There's a lot of Oh, thank you, Susie. I got a round of applause, I think, there from Susie. I got an emoticon round of applause. Another one from Mandy. I wonder when the underwear called Smart Food. Underwear called Smart Food.
Clearly.
He's in Finland, isn't he? So.
Yeah. Explains a lot.
I have heard of edible underwear.
Yes, let's not discuss that on stream.
That's probably not the same thing. Right. I think I'm going to have to stop. I'm not even going to get that layer done. What I might do is I'll finish this one, and then I might have another go at a tree one, because I really fancy doing the trees. Or maybe the hearts. I'll do a hearts one for Valentine's. And I'll show the whole process, and I'll sort of speed it through and stuff a bit like I usually do, just in case anybody does want to have a go and wants a better. But actually, if you wanted to have a go, if you go onto YouTube and type in negative watercolour painting, there's a lot of people on there who probably do a better job of showing you how to do this properly. Let me just soften that edge. I don't want to leave an edge that's going to annoy me later on. Just soften that out. Too late already. I'll overlap that and lose it in the next. Oh no, there we go. I've managed to wake it up again. That's all right. As long as you don't leave a really hard edge, it's all right. So that's it. I'm going to stop there. I'm really sorry I didn't do anything like what I promised I would do. But that's well on the way. They look a bit like jelly bears. Which, if they're not a thing, they should be. Like jelly babies, but jelly bears. Yeah. So I think by the time I've done kind of perhaps another layer and another layer and some line work, I think those will be all right. And then this one is going to just be quite a long job, but quite enjoyable to do. So I will finish that, and I'll show photos of them on the next video, and at the same time I'll do a proper job of the negative painting. And there's Tom's one of the bears, and there's John's one of the bears. I can't believe he actually did, because he was adamant he wasn't going to do it, so I'm really happy with that. So
that's what I've got so far of the masks.
Oh, and that's what, hey, that was quick. Blimey. Was that going straight off the pencil with the brush? Yeah, that's the perfect mask blue, isn't it? And I'm quite looking forward to just putting the different eyes, because when you think about it, if you put eyes like right down low or right up or wide on the head, or you could make these faces look very,
out big
very
enough
different.
So you can put those little googly eye things on them.
Yeah. Yeah, or you could cut eyes out of magazines and put them on. Yeah, I would really love to see.
Cutting eyes out of magazines would make you look a bit creepy.
Yeah, but I like a bit creepy, so I don't mind that.
Very true.
I like the colours this is going now. I like these colours here. They're just doing their own thing. Quite enjoying that. Right. Okay. I'm going to go back up to... Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And thanks to everybody. Hang on. Thanks to everybody for coming along. I'm made up. I am. I thought I'd be lucky if I got 1 or 2 people. I'd have been happy with that. But,
and thanks to enough of you for subscribing to make this.
Yeah, can't believe it.
A thing in the first place.
Yeah. And for anybody that missed it the first time, I have to show it off again. Printed on 3D printed by my darling son behind me.
Aww.
Yes, you could. You could definitely. Yeah. Oh. Thank you, Johnny. Brilliant. I'm glad you're going to try it. Thanks, PP. Thanks, everybody. I'm gonna go now. I just need to work out how to stop.
Do you press the end broadcast button?
Or stop streaming.
Yes, or both.
Or both. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Happy rest of your Sunday.
Yeah.